A select group of Texas senators have been discussing over the last couple of days ways to improve school security, but have they actually come up with any good ideas? Hey everybody, I'm Chad Hasty, host of the Chad Hasty Show. Chairs weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 a.m. Central Time on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. Well, this is the topic I'll be talking about quite a bit on the Wednesday edition of the program about how to harden school safety. Texas lawmakers, or at least a select group of Texas senators, have been spending the last couple of days talking back and forth, hearing from witnesses and discussing amongst themselves the best way to increase security. And what do we have so far? Well, really a lot of ideas and some kind of bad ideas. A lot of the debate has centered around whether teachers should carry or not. And the debate that happened on Monday was whether or not you should have teachers or administrators who carry versus school marshals that carry. And school marshals being, maybe hiring a police officer or a retired police officer to come in and provide school security. That may work in some cases. But let's also not forget that many Texas schools in rural areas don't have a lot of money to spend and don't have a lot of extra money to spend when it comes on school security. So the idea of going out and hiring a police officer to stand by, or one or two police officers to stand by 20, most of the day, really doesn't make a lot of financial sense when you could just allow teachers to carry guns. Now, listen, I don't know why this became a this or that type of situation. Why not, again, allow responsible adults, whether they're teachers, administrators, parents who walk in, whoever it may be, responsible adults, if they want to carry, let them carry. I think that teachers who decide to carry, they're not going to jump out into the hallway and just start shooting indiscriminately. That's not going to happen. They're going to, barricade their classrooms and use that handgun as a last line of defense. I am absolutely 100% in favor of teachers being able to carry, not just to protect the classrooms, by the way, but to protect themselves. I think we all know that there are some very, very good teachers who work, later into the evening. Sometimes when the sun goes down, it's dark outside, or they get to school when it's early in the morning, and they have to walk from the parking lot into the school building, and at that time they are not protected, which to me is just absolutely ludicrous. So, of course, you should have your Second Amendment rights, whether you're going into a school, a supermarket, a movie theater, wherever you might be going, you should have access to your Second Amendment rights. And if you're a teacher, you should, if you want to, be allowed to protect your students at all cost. Now, another idea that's been floated is whether or not that we should have metal detectors in schools. Metal detectors, the ones they're talking about, cost anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a pop. It may sound like a good idea, but think of how many schools there are in the state of Texas and how many entrances there are. And also think about this. A metal detector doesn't necessarily prevent a school shooting. It alerts you to somebody having a metal object in their hand or, on their body, but it doesn't prevent a school shooting. And if a school shooter knows that, you've got a whole bunch of kids who are trying to get into a school, they're going to open fire before they get to the metal detector, or they're going to get to the metal detector and the metal detector is going to go beep, 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 and they're going to pull out their gun and start shooting people. So saying that you're automatically going to, put in these metal detectors and that's going to cut down on school shootings, to me is not the answer. You want to cut down on school shootings, it's a long discussion that has to be had. And one of the discussions that has to be had is that of mental health in the United States. Obviously, suicide has been in the news lately, but this also goes to the impact of school shooters and mental health and mental stability among school shooters. It also, by the way, goes back to the home. How many of these school shooters have come from single-parent households where a father is not involved in a child's life? It seems like, and we talk about this quite often, some of the ills of society all stem from the home. And things that can be taken care of by having a loving, involved parents in a child's life. You want to solve a lot of issues in America? Get to that point where you have loving parents who are involved in their kids' life. Oh, and allow adults to protect themselves wherever they go. We'll talk about this a lot more on the Wednesday edition of the Chad Hasty Show. Tune in then. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Have a great day.